It'd be great if I unmuted myself. I keep doing that. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tardis Zone. I hope you are all doing very well. And I see the cat is out of the bag. I managed to keep it under wraps on Twitter, so nobody on Twitter has a clue. Like, even though it has happy birthday on my profile, apparently it comes up, but I managed to keep it away from everybody because I've been getting loads of messages on Messenger, people wishing me a happy birthday. Um, you know me, I don't really like to make a big deal out of it. But yeah, it is my birthday today, Midsummer's Day, the longest day of the year, as they say. So yeah, I've had me little treats. I just wasn't in the humour really of celebrating this year, but Cheryl has really tried her best to kind of cheer me up. I thought I'm just one of those people now. I just don't really like celebrating my birthday. I haven't the last few years. I think it's since the pandemic. I haven't been really feeling it. Do you know what I mean? And I'm still not feeling it now. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that has sent me the birthday wishes. It has meant a lot. I'm not gonna lie, and it has cheered me up a little bit. But I've got me strawberry cheesecake Haagen-Dazs ice cream for later on. So she went down. She got me strawberry cheesecake because she knows I love that Haagen-Dazs strawberry cheesecake. So I got that. So I'll watch a movie later on. So Queen Charlotte obviously led the charge in the chat. And she'll be with me now in just a second. PD will be here as well. He's just having a quick bite to eat, and then he's got to wash his dishes, he said. And Cinnamon says, is it his birthday? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I just kept it under wraps. I actually did a pretty good job this year. But there you go. It was bound to get out at some stage, wasn't it? Wow, happy birthday, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Chris Persia with a Canadian $10 super chat says, happy birthday, Noel. I really do appreciate that, Chris. Thank you very much. I'll have a beer with that. Money messing. But thank you. Really appreciate it. And look at all of those lovely little emojis there as well. I can actually see them on the screen, which is great. And then yeah, why hide it? I'm just one of those people that it's just been the last couple of years. I normally do make a big deal about my birthday because if you've been following this channel, like I've streamed on my birthday and all, and we've had a bit of a laugh and stuff. So I do normally make because it is a milestone, but just these last few years I just haven't been feeling it. I don't know what it is. I'm not depressed or anything. I just woke up and it's just like, it's just another day. Do you know what I mean? That's the attitude I have right now. JWC reviews as well in the chat. Welcome also, and thank you for the happy birthday. Yeah, I've just found out actually even today that someone on Instagram has been talking crap about me on my birthday, like calling me a bigot and all the usual things. I haven't even said that and about Jodie Whittaker. Oh, not Jodie Whittaker's era. RTD's era in a couple of weeks. Like, so I don't know why you're bringing me up and having a go at me. Like, you know what I mean? Stop being obsessed, you little stalker. Anyway, thanks to Peter who had me back on that one. I'll say no more. Happy 37th birthday. No, I fucking wish. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. Anyway, Bad Wolf 66 is in the chat. And we got Tardis Spider who goes, I'm back. And it's nice to see it. And cancer free. Yay! Brilliant news. Brilliant news. Now that's news. That's good news to get on my birthday. I love that. Well done. Anyway, it's not about me today anyway, right? We're going to bring on our guests. I don't know what we're going to talk about because I don't want to talk about Doctor Who. I really don't. Now, if you want to ask the two guys that come on any Doctor Who stuff, you can aim it towards them, but as far as I'm concerned, don't aim any at me, because I don't want to answer any Doctor Who stuff unless it's got to do with the classic era. Okay, just because I'm, I stand by what I say, and I'm sticking by this, even though some people think that even people that are on, were originally angry, are saying to me maybe I shouldn't take this stand, but I am. And for now, I don't know if I'm covering the 60th, but I know there's been a few people in the chat when I did my last stream, which did very well, by the way, when we were talking about the grifters of the Doctor Who fandom. And people were in there saying, we really want you to do the 60th anniversary because you'll tell it straight and you don't pander and stuff like that. But right now, I just don't feel it. So it's a few months away. We'll see what happens, okay? Doctor Who was talking, because I've got a new release of energy now. I was on Rumble earlier on talking about the Titanic and all of that stuff that's been going on recently with the submersible that's gone missing. And I've enjoyed that. And as you know, I launched me Manchester United channel just recently as well, and I've been putting content up on that as well, and I've been really enjoying it. So look, we will cover Doctor Who. Do you know what I mean? It'll just be classic for now, and eventually, when I calm down and I'm if the 60th is good, I'll definitely give. Well, I did say I give. Look, I'm still gonna watch it myself personally. I just don't want to cover it on my channel. But if it's good, that may change. That's all I'm gonna say. And Real Super Doctor was with me on that stream today on Rumble, so I want to thank him as well. Do the 60th and all, and see how it goes. You're probably right, but right now I'm just a bit pissed. But anyway, let's bring on our co-hosts, because the two of them are waiting in the wings, and just want to see if I have forgotten anybody. No, looks like we're up to date with people in the chat. So let's bring her on. You know who it is. It's the one and only Queen Charlotte.
Hello, everybody. You grump. I was always going to say happy birthday to you.
I know.
Sorry if I let it out. I didn't know.
No, it's grand. See, it was going to happen on the stream at some step, but in fairness, I got away with it for 7 hours.
You did, because I'm not on social media, so I wouldn't have noticed.
I got away with it. Even Daniel, straight away, sent me a message on Messenger to wish me a happy birthday. So that was nice as well. And a few people I haven't actually heard from in a while sent me some birthday wishes on Messenger as well. That used to be in the chat with us as well. That meant a lot, I have to say. I'm going to say. So thank you to you guys as well. We got PD Rich.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just gets more miserable the older you get, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I'll be probably fine by next year. It's just
I love Chris's reaction. For once, I'm not in a jumper, and you can actually tell I've got like summery clothes on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yes, weather."
Yeah, it's very hot. We've had the thunderstorms and the flash floods over here, and it's like the media. It's the end of the world. Listen. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and we had flash floods like this in the summer. Do you know why we have flash floods, Paul? Because the councils around here, all around the country, don't do their job and clean the fucking drainage out. That's why places flood. It's nothing to do with the rain. If the drainage system was working, right, it will handle the water. Yeah, there are extreme cases, obviously, where the drains can take all of the water and it does become flooded. But the majority of the flooding in Dublin City right now, right, that they're all banging on about, it's just got to do with poor bleeding drainages, idiot. Get away, man. Everybody extreme about this weather. Enjoy the summer, right? It's going to be one of the hottest since the 90s or the 80s, but they forget to tell you that, right? Enjoy it, because, we're going to be in for warmer summers, because this is the change that the climate is doing now. We're going to have warmer summers now for the next few years, right? And we're going to have a lot more harsher winters. And then eventually
It'll calm down
few
again.
decades down the line, it's going to flip over again then.
Yeah.
Summers won't be as hot as they were, and we'll have a lot more rain, and then the winters will be a lot more warmer, right? It happens, right? It happens.
I know
Don't be
exactly
listening
how
to
it
these
happened.
crackpots, man. I mean, everybody is still sharing that tweet of Greta Thunberg saying that we're all going to be wiped out and stuff like that, and even Scopes has tried to say it's false. Listen, people took the screenshot of the actual tweet before she took it down. Don't be trying to fool us here, right? You're supposed to be the group that's for truth and all of that to clear the bullshit and tell us what is fact, right? And
Yeah, but
even
they
news
don't do
are
that.
now. Can't be trusted. Get away. Get away. Bottom line is, right, enjoy it. You're going to have a great summer this year, and you should enjoy it, but be cautious, right? Wear your sunscreen where possible, and just be sensible about it, folks, because us English and Irish, you know, the UK and Ireland, like, we're pasty white, you know, that sort of way. So, well, except the girls that go and get spray tans and stuff like that, and tan all year round. But the majority of us are all pasty white. So remember to wear is our relevant. And this is the thing: people always think to get the highest maximum. Oh, you've got, everybody's skin is different, folks.
Yeah.
So when you're choosing your sunscreen, make sure it's one that suits your skin. Okay, that's how you get around that anyway. We got Laura Thought in the chat as well.
Say hello, Lotto.
Working, but wanted to say
Thanks,
happy
Bob.
birthday. I really do appreciate all the birthday wishes. Now, seriously, right? I'll stop being grumpy, but yeah, I do. It's been nice, I have to say, and I have to actually send a message to me my mother-in-law, Cheryl's ma. You know, they always send me something for my birthday every year, and she's just after texting me there, so I'll text her after this. But guys, it's been a while, obviously, since we've been on, because I took a break. Wink, wink. Was saying nothing. Yeah, I've had a while to do the things that I needed to do. But what have you guys been up to now these last 2 weeks, and anything that happened over the last 2 weeks that you want to bring up today? Because a lot has happened in 2 weeks, actually. Is there anybody got to say? Queen Charlotte, we'll start with you. Is there anything that?
Well, I know
Anything
something
new?
I'm going to do at the weekend, which I'm excited about, which
Go
is
on.
all the Type 40, the people who can, we're going to actually have a face. We're going to meet up. We're going to physically actually be in one place, which we've not done ever. We're going to all go to, I won't say, but a certain location, and we're going to have a good time and have a day out and sort of have a bit of a meal and do lots of fun things. So it's going to be exciting because we've been streaming now, like a core group of us, for about a year, but we've never, like I said, because we're all scattered about, so we've never actually got together. So this weekend we're doing that. So I'm really looking forward to actually hanging out with people who, like you guys, you're my online family. I just don't get to see you a lot physically. So I'm really looking forward to doing that at the weekend.
No, that's lovely.
And we will try, folks. Some people sort of know we're doing it and said, oh, you got to take photos and stuff. We'll try. But we're just going to have that time just to all be together and actually
in
just
fairness,
enjoy.
the force meet, in fairness, should just have 1 or 2 photos, and then you all sit down and have a real proper chat. When the second meetup comes, then you are more comfortable, because remember, it's different talking to someone online than it is meeting them face to face. So there will be that obvious at the start, that obvious awkwardness. But once obviously is get together, sit down in whatever environment you're going to be sitting down and get talking, then that'll all go away. Yeah, I mean, you know, second meetup, then you control, because you're far more relaxed and stuff like that.
Well, I think some of the people, like I know Dan's met Simon quite a few times. He's met some of the others. I think I'm the main one who hasn't really met anybody because, like I said, it's location. I don't drive, so it's always a bit more. I have to sort of plan out if I go anywhere. So I'm just really looking forward to it, and I'll tell you once we do it next week how it went, because I'm just like I said, I adore those lot. Like I said, they become my online family.
Yeah. We all have.
Same with you two, same with Lee, same with Daniel, same with plenty of other people. But it's just, and I just think we have fun on stream, so I can't help but think we'll have fun when we're physically actually having a big old get together like we are planning.
That's it, man, and enjoy it. That's it. That's what it's all about. You know, that's what this show has done. It's the side that nobody says is you know, brings people together. I mean, I was reading that the person that was attacking me on Instagram, like the way he was talking about me, and basically people like you who obviously have the same opinions as me, they don't get that this show is more than a TV show to us.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's also brought a lot of people together. I mean, this channel, Dan's channel, Gobby's channel, Daniel's channel, you know, whoever's out there, it's brought people together. It's brought us all together. And we're all in each other's communities anyway. We're all in it. You know what I mean? We're all interconnected in some way because, you know, some of the panelists that are on this channel are on other channels as well. And we all, you know, we all mix it up everywhere. So that's what I love about this. You know what I mean? It's we connect with people all the time, and it's all because of this TV show. And we've built community. We've built our own little communities within our chats and stuff like that. But we've also built that wider community between us all because we're all connected in some way. Like all the channels are that I've mentioned, we're all connected in some way. We all started off somewhere, and then we all branched. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about it. But this is why I go mad with what I'm saying today. You know, these people don't understand, never will understand. Right? This is more than a TV show. It's a community. It's as Charlotte said, it is family. It's another family. You can rely on these people. These people have your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know? and I think after all the aggro we had, whether that's just what we felt watching the Chibnall stuff or personally what we might have all gone through, I think if anything, and this is what I've said this before, but I do honestly think this is the main plus from the Chibnall era, which is it made a lot of connections. It made a lot of people who never would have spoken to each other, who never would have gotten involved with each other in any sense, whether that's being in a chat, like you said. We're not just talking about people on streams, like
that's
you said.
What I mean.
People
it
in the
matter
chat,
where it is.
But because of what we were going through, we and because we got pushed in some regards, we got told you're not welcome. It made us all come together.
Exactly.
And it made us all actually go, well, if you lot are going to be horrible, we're going to find our own links that we can rely on. And that's what we all did.
That's what's happening.
So now
and it made us all stronger as well, because I don't think anybody in this fandom would have been able to cope with the stuff that we had to cope with if we didn't have each other as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, we definitely, I remember that's why I went in chats, because I just felt so isolated a little bit. And so sort of, I was watching it and going, this isn't right. And I won't go into the whole diatribe because I don't want to tread old ground, but watching it, I was just like, no, something in me was reacting, saying this isn't right. And then that's why I went in chats. And then I went in your chat, I went in a few others. And then you were just one day, you were like, right, we want to come on. And I just did, basically just to say, I'll do it once. I can literally remember thinking, I'll do it once, and then I've said my piece. And then you were crazy enough to be like, do you want to come back on? And then
but it was the same with Daniel as well. I remember when I first started out, and I told you this story. It's actually a funny story now. But, I mean, my literal setup of doing live streams was on a mobile phone.
I remember. I was in the chat.
And a pair of speakers. And to get people to come on, I used to get them to send me a message on Messenger, and then I'd ring them to come on. And Daniel used to come on. We used to call them the phone ins, like. And Daniel used to come on. And I remember the first time he came on, he was, you know, he was pretty determined to get his point of view across, but you could tell he was a little bit nervous, like everybody is when they first start.
Oh, yeah, it was.
But then But then
I
he
can
came
remember
on
at
more
first.
and more, and then you see the confidence, and that's what I like as well. Same with you, Charlotte. See the confidence in you over these last couple of years, and now see where you are and what you're doing now. You know what I mean? It's like that's the best part for me is seeing the likes of yourself and Daniel. You know, when you do branch out and see the confidence that you have, and see how far you have actually come from your first appearance, whether it be on my channel or Dan's channel or
No, it
whatever
was
channel. You
yours.
know what I mean?
It was
So
on yours, and then
yeah,
like I said, I did it for once because I was just like, I'll say my piece. I didn't have my camera on. I was like, no, I'm never going to put my camera on. That was also something I said to
Yeah.
myself. And then you sort of were like, no, you were good. Come back on. And then I became a regular, and then I sort of was in Dan's chat, and I said what got me on Type 40 also was quite funny. I literally sent him a fan audio because I knew Dan liked audios and he liked cover fan stuff. So no, this is a good audio. I don't know if you want to listen to it. I thought he might just listen to it, and he literally said, "Oh, come on the show, come," because it was quite the early days then, so he hadn't really. He was still sort of trying stuff out himself. He wouldn't mind me saying that.
yeah, he
And he said,
experimented at first. He
yeah,
did,
he
but
was like, "Oh,
he's
come
got
on
it
and
absolutely spot on now, doesn't he? I mean, the
oh yeah,
format that he has works really well for Dan and the people that he has on.
yeah." And so I just went on just to talk about the audio. Once again, no camera. It was backstage that I was confident enough to show the camera. So Dan and I
That's
think
right.
Ian was on. I was backstage. I was showing myself, but on that I was like, no, not on stream. And then I think I was in the chat afterwards, and it was a bit similar situation when Dan was like, "Are you free?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, come on then." And then now it's like I adore when I'm on there, and I miss it when I'm not. And he's the most open person ever, Dan. He's very like, and he's even said to me, like, no, you're really good at this, because I think he could tell I needed a bit of somebody to sort
Dan's a
of,
pro as well.
yeah, but I think he could tell that I needed, like you and Dan, to be the ones to make me take the step.
That's it. It's always the four, but it is the first step is always the difficult step. Cinnamon is at the saying it there as well. But I want to read this out because you say I rarely comment on live stream chats, but for this, happy birthday, Noel, and that's the Equilibrium reviews. If I've said it properly, I think I have.
Equilibrium.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for that. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And Cinnamon says it there. You know, he was nervous. He was dead nervous the first time. I have to look at people say to me because I hardly shut up, as you know. But when I first started, I was like the rest of you. I was very nervous when I did my first ever video on my phone. That's how I did.
Yeah.
I was like, and I wouldn't even mind, right? It was a video, so it wasn't even a live stream at this stage. I must have done that video. I'm not lying. I must have done that video about 5 or 6 times before I was happy with it, because the first time I did it, I was stuttering all over the place, and I was like, "Oh man, I just can't get this right." And then every time I was doing it and getting it wrong, I was getting more frustrated. But then by the last time, I just nailed it. I put it up, didn't expect that, and I got a couple of subs, and I thought, "Oh, that's all right. That's great. 2 subs, yay!" I was like that, and then I decided to, after a while, when you reach the criteria on YouTube, I decided to do my first live stream, and the setup was basically a mobile phone. The same old. By the way, I just want to add, I have a brand new mobile phone, right? It's a Samsung mobile phone. It's not brand new though. It's old, but it's newer, right? But I actually have the original phone
Oh.
that we done the live streams on still to this day, and it works still. Now it's cracked, the screen. This was the weird thing about it. I was doing live streams on a cracked screen and everything. I managed to be able to start my YouTube journey on a mobile phone. I still have this phone. It's only a phone, I know that, but it does have a little bit of sentiment behind it, because this is what started me journey on YouTube. And I got these 2 computer speakers off my sister for Christmas, and that's what I used. I plugged the phone in. Oh
I
man,
remember it was such a you could tell it was such an you had to really know, right, I have to do this and then I have to do this for this to
yeah.
work, sort of thing.
But it worked. And those early days, look, I'll always love those early days because that's when it obviously started it all off. But that's when everybody started coming in. That's when I realized there was a lot of Doctor Who fans out there that were just disillusioned and were sad. But yeah, I just think it's all funny now when I look back how I started.
Yeah, got to start somewhere.
You do.
Seriously, yeah.
I'm still an amateur, but I don't care. I do it the way I do it. Sometimes, I get it right, like I did with the last stream. Sometimes it doesn't always work out, but it doesn't stop me from coming on here and talking about things that I'm passionate about with the people that I like being around, and they're also passionate.
Yeah. No, do you know what I like about you? You've got the gall to keep trying, and I respect that, and I always have.
Yeah. I remember in the early days, they all told me I had no talent, and I was like, well, I'm not claiming to have any talent. I even slag myself off on live streams. This is a running joke on this channel for how long? I've been, and
you can't do anything.
that went along with it as well. I've been slagging myself off for 5 years. I haven't got a clip. Listen, laptops to me and tablets are alien, right? I don't claim to be a professional. I never will be professional, but I'm me. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of channels out there.
Yeah.
They shill quite a lot instead of being themselves. And you can see it on here. The guests I bring on, Charlotte is always herself. PD is always himself. Lee is always himself. Daniel, when we had Gobby, got everybody that we've ever had on this channel does be themselves. And that's the difference. I just, when I see other channels out there and the way they do things, just be yourself. If you want to be successful long term, be yourself, because people like that. They like honesty. Yeah, some people think I'm harsh sometimes and I go over the top. And sometimes I do. I don't do it for any reason other than I'm passionate. Some people think I go overboard for clicks. Listen, if that was the case, you know what I would have done? I would have done what the other side done, right? And I would have put clickbait thumbnails all over me videos, right? I would have come on here and faked being happy for the last five years, right? And pretended that I loved Jodie Whittaker, and I would have got thousands of subscribers, right? I would have, right? If I had a shill like all of the others, I would have ended up with thousands of subscribers. But that's not me, and I can't lie, and I can't sit on the fence, and neither can these guys. It's not in our DNA, That's what makes this a special group of people.
It's like, even with all the stuff with the witch going on at the moment, I'll happily admit on stream in the season that's coming out in like the next week, whatever it is, there's probably going to be good bits in season 3. I'm not going to deny that. Like, you've got some really good actors still, not just Henry. I've always said the cast is really good in that show. So unless they suddenly lose all their talent in acting, I can't see the acting being bad. The fight choreographer, he was in season 1, who did some incredible scenes. He's back for season 3. Right. So probably some of the fights are going to be quite good as like spectacle fights, and also
they're going to have to be, aren't they? Because everybody is already upset about Henry leaving. So the fact that you've brought in the Aldi version of the Hemsworth brothers, it's you're already, you've already peed off your audience as it is for the crap that's come out your mouth. Yeah. So in fairness, if things like that are happening, they obviously know, Charlotte, like you fans, that they've screwed up.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. There are people who not all. Some people in the production team know fully well what works, and
Yeah.
they are trying to fight for the stuff they know works. I also wouldn't be surprised. Henry had a really good relationship with this fight choreographer. He
Yeah.
worked with him very heavily in season 1. They both have spoken about how basically Henry would input a bit in the fight scene, and then the choreographer would input, and it was very much a two sort of person team working together. So I wouldn't be surprised if Henry was pushing for this guy to come back. Would not be surprised in the slightest. Also, there's some really big, important plot like fight stuff going on in this season, so they probably did it for that as well.
Yeah.
I think the music, I've always thought the music, the original songs they do are always pretty good. So that's probably going to be good. Joey's an incredible singer who they've got for who they've got for the Yasuke. So they've got an actual person who can sing doing the bard stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
So that's
But
what I mean. There's
do you
probably
know what
going
the
to
problem is, Charlotte? I mean, okay, people may have had issues with the 4th season or whatever, right, and stuff. And obviously, you know, what's this season? Well, how many seasons? Henry's in 2 seasons, isn't he? And then
season 3 is the one coming out, and that's his last one.
right. But I mean, they haven't helped themselves. See, this is what they do. They kind of shoot themselves in the foot all the time because they just can't help themselves. They have to open their mouths and say something stupid. If they actually kept quiet, right, like they used to do in the old days, you know, with these big budget shows, kept quiet and just wrote the show, right? Even if fans saw things in it that didn't go by the book or whatever like that, they wouldn't complain as much because they'd say, do you know what, that was actually a good idea. Do you know, I can be down with that. Because the showrunner there is not mounting up saying, oh, well, fans don't know what they're talking about. You know, they're stupid. You know, we're going to tell, we know best. We don't know anything about the source material, but we know best. You know, and that's not the attitude to have. If they just shut up, you know, if Kathleen Kennedy just shut up, yeah, it's still shit. But would there be this huge overreaction that we've been seeing over these last 5 years? Well, maybe in some cases there would be still a bit of an overreaction, let's be honest. But would it be this bad? I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? It'd be just people giving out and saying they need to go and blah, blah. You know, the creators shouldn't open their mouth.
The main problem that Lauren, who's the showrunner, has had is every season she promises it's going to be closer to the books. She's done this since season 1.
And then she goes against it.
Then she makes massive changes to characters, to backstories.
Where if she didn't open her mouth, right, and even if she did make those changes that you're saying, Charlotte, right, would she have got as much stick for it, though? I don't think so. But the fact that she's opened her mouth, she's setting herself up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then what happens then? She comes out, oh, poor me. The fans are all picking on me. And then when that doesn't work, it's like, oh, they're stupid. They don't know what they're talking about.
The playbook.
Yeah, because there's a rumor going round right now that something that could happen in season 3. And we'll have to see if it happens. But basically the rumor
is it bad?
That it's
well, I'm not going to watch The Witcher, so hold on for a minute, though. I'll do this in the chat. Is anybody in this chat watching The Witcher? If you are watching The Witcher,
this is a story rumor. So
just press 1 real quickly, because if you started watching The Witcher, I'm going to get her to just spoil it, because you know what? At this stage, they're going to screw up. Gotta do it. Now, I've kept my mouth shut about The Flash, but I feel like going the people that are saying it's brilliant. I feel like, and people that are thinking they're going to see it, I felt like going to them saying, don't go because they do something. But then I said, do you know what? That's not my place to do that. I shouldn't ruin someone else's enjoyment because I'm angry at what DC's done. And, you know, I see a lot of fans do that. Listen, we can't stoop to that level, right? even though I am angry and I wanted to do it, and I'm openly
But
admitting to you I
commentators, not
wanted to do it,
influencers.
but
Yeah.
why I should have no right to ruin it for someone else out there who's genuinely excited to see this movie. And the only way they'll know whether it's good or bad is if they actually go and see it. And I think that's the attitude we have. I've seen fans put comments up, say they've enjoyed the movie, and then you go into their comment section and they're being abused for it. I'm sorry, you know, we have our personal opinions, right? We have to stop this. I used to do it as well during the Whittaker era, and you know I did, and it needs to stop. There were times when it was, you know, we were angry, passionate, and stuff like that, you know. But we're 5 years down the road with all of this nonsense. I mean, it's longer, but since I've been here, it's 5 years, and it just seems to have gotten worse.
Yeah. Well, most of the chat seems they don't care. I will preface this again. It is a rumor. Some of it has been talked about in interviews. So that half of it has basically been told it's going to happen with interviews with the showrunner and Joey, who plays Yasuke. And that is that Yasuke's sort of big story thread in this season is they're going to explore him having a romance, which there's been enough hints in previous seasons that clearly Yasuke is not straight. They've made it very clear.
Right.
No. So it's been hinted at enough. And actually, it's not been his whole character. They've given him plenty of other story bits. So
what you're saying, if it does happen, you believe it's a natural progression because they have been laying the groundwork
for them to explore his romance and his sort of that side of him. Yes, it's who he's going to be paired off with.
Oh, and that's the issue, is it?
Because this character, if they try and do a romantic storyline with this character, it's once again they're going completely different from the books and the games. So for all the talk of being close to the books, and this is the most canon season they've done, this is a massive departure. And this is what they've done again and again with this show. They've taken characters from the source material and have changed some part of their backstory or given them something that was never originally there. He's rumoured, and PD, once I've chatted, he can also add to why, if this is done, I don't have a clue what they're thinking. He's rumoured to be having a romantic love story with Radovid, who in the books and in the games is a complete and utter evil tyrant of a king.
Right.
In the books and the games, he's despicable. He's ruthless. He basically is the massive reason why all the witches and sorcerers and anybody who has magic gets persecuted, because he encourages basically genocide against anybody who's got magic, or as you can guess, because of how sort of that works, anybody who's non-human as well tends to fall into that category.
What?
So that's Radovid. He literally. So this is something from the books and the games. So if you don't want to know any spoilers for the actual books and games, this is your warning.
Oh no! Listen, I got spoilers for games that I ended up playing and still loving. So spoil away.
As a punishment to one of the main witch sorceresses who tries to dethrone him, tries to take his throne. Right. He orders her to be blinded. That is, he literally gets somebody to attack her eyes. And I don't want to go too graphic, but that's what he does. So that's Radovid. And he's going to possibly, if this happens in the show, he's going to have a romantic storyline with Yasuke.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, PD, go on, because you're a Witcher fan as well, and you haven't.
Yeah.
because I've been all excited. I think everybody's let me away with it today, but like,
Yeah.
it is about time we get your opinion because you are a Witcher fan
Yes.
as well.
Yeah, I'm
I
more of a
mean,
fan of the games.
but seriously,
Radovid is in the games, and he's a big part of the games. So
Massive
what do you
part,
think of what you're hearing here? I mean,
it's a bit
that's
dumb, really dumb, because a simple reason Radovid is like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. He's an absolute psychopath.
Yeah.
Absolute psychopath. He's also more heterosexual. I've never seen him even have a homosexual vision against anybody. He probably thinks it's some kind of banal and disgusting. So I can't see Dandelion going out in a relationship with it. It's completely off.
at least
Totally off.
What's that? And also, PD, as to people who know that book character, would they be interested in a flaming romantic plotline?
No, especially with Radovid. He's more like to kill someone and make love to them.
Games do you adapt, right? Because you notice with some of these games there isn't a kind of a romantic thing going on. But why is it when they do adapt these games into TV shows, they have to inject some sort of romance into it? Why can't they just make it the way it's supposed to be made? I mean, if the game is that popular, you know what I mean, and it sells out and stuff, you're going to have all of those people that obviously have played the game watch it, right? And then all of those that, you know, maybe have casually played the game will check the show out, you know what I mean? So they would have got an audience. I don't get this whole injection of romance in these things when they do adapt.
I don't, because like I said, Radovid is a really good character. I mean, as a character with depth and layers. Like I said, he's a tyrant of a king who goes mad.
Yeah.
Who, through his own practices, his people hate him, and it's very Shakespearean, isn't it, PD? It's like the sort of the king who gets power hungry and treats
It's definitely
people.
King Lear, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very King Lear.
Batshit crazy.
And also it, like I said, with Yasuke, because for people who don't know, in Netflix it's the same character, but they named him something different. So in the books and the games he's Dandelion.
Right.
In the show he's Yasuke.
Yeah.
Right. Why did they do that?
They never really said why. I don't know if
it's
because they
based
thought
on Casanova as well, so it doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, also, like I said, they have given enough hints, but Dandelion in the books and the games is basically a walking sort of every woman he sees is his muse.
That's the one.
Right. Oh, one of them. Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely
just call him a. Do you know what? You can get away with Playboy. He's a Playboy.
Oh, yeah.
He's
a medieval Playboy. He's very much like that.
Total Casanova.
But like I said, they've given enough hints in the show to Yasuke being gay. And they've given him other story beats. They've not just made him this. So I would have no issue, and this is what I'll come back to, no issue if they wanted to do this storyline with Yasuke. Pick another character to have him do it with, not one of your big bads, one of your really big villains.
Have him do it with an elf or something.
Well, yeah. There's so many characters. I mean, even would have taken if they would have done like something with Geralt, because they made that clear in the show. He had a bit of a crush on Geralt.
Yeah, that's it.
But to pick Radovid, if like I said, if this is true, we'll have to see if it actually happens. But
remember, I just want to say this to you, Charlotte, right? Because you've been on this channel a long time. You've been on Dan's channel now a good while now. You know as well as I do that in every fandom, right, there are idiots out there that put out bullshit rumors, right? Okay, we have it in the Star Wars fandom. Won't mention any names. We have it in the Doctor Who fandom. There's several of them in the Doctor Who fandom, right? There'll be the same in the Witcher fandom as well. Remember, there's a lot of butthurt Henry Cavill fans, and I know you're butthurt about it, but you wouldn't be that butthurt that you're going to go on, say, Reddit and start making up fake rumors because you're bitter. And that's what I think may be going on with some of these rumors as well. So as a fan, when you see all of these rumors, you kind of you have to use your we do it on this channel as well. You've often been on when we've covered stuff. You know, we talk about irrationally, we talk about which rumors sound plausible and which ones we can outright deny. And most of the time we are right when it comes to the Doctor Who stuff. We're pretty good as Doctor Who fans. So it's the same with every fandom, unfortunately. But look, in fairness, I will say to the Henry Cavill fans, look, I feel he is as well, because, you know, I lost. He was my Christopher Reeves will always be my Superman. He was my Superman, right? And I even watched George Reeves' Superman as well. Look, I'm a real, when it comes to that stuff, especially the George Reeves too. I'm fascinated by his life and all and stuff. George Reeves is an interesting character. You should really, person, you should really check him out. You'll go down a rabbit hole with him. But he was Superman. But Christopher Reeves was obviously my fourth Superman, right? And I thought nobody could play Superman other than Christopher Reeves, because we had Brandon Routh. Unfortunately, I don't blame him. Look, the script was absolutely awful. But I think he had the mannerisms, and he did have the look of Superman. I really did think he could have worked as Superman if he had gave him a decent script. That script, Superman Returns, is I watched it recently just to see, did I have the same feelings for it? It's fucking god awful, man. It's one of the worst. Listen, I'd rather watch The Quest for Peace than Superman Returns. That's how bad I rate it, right? But I'm at the losing me train of thought here. What was I talking about? See, I went off on a Superman.
You didn't think anybody could be Superman.
But then Henry came along, right? And Man of Steel, right? Listen, people have their opinions on that movie, right? It does have flaws. I am, you know, not gonna lie, that it does have some flaws. But for me, I loved Henry's Superman.
Yeah.
And I just think the reason why it worked with Henry is because of Henry's personality himself. His personality came true in that role, just like it did with Christopher Reeves. That's why it worked. Right?
I think it's because of how much he cares, because there was another
thing. And he cares as well. Yeah, of course he did. He cared. Of course he did. Of course he cared, man. He's literally, you know, stood his ground. And even when that journalist tried to bait him, he was having none of it. He was saying fans have every right to have their opinions, you know? And that's what I love about Henry. And then the radical left mob tried to cancel him, then make up all rumors about him dating, you know, all sorts and all this, tried to cancel him, right? He's uncancelable. He's not that, you know, as I said, I said he does leave himself open for attacks if he's dating women in their early 20s, of course, because he's an older man. Well, not that old, though, in fairness, but still, you know, the radical leftist mob will find Anton anyway. But I'm still gutted over that. I'm still gutted that I will never see Henry in Man of Steel 2, and that some James Gunn wannabe is going to be the Superman now.
Yeah.
And it's this Superman legacy show. And after what's happened with The Flash, I think DC are in terrible trouble now.
Oh, they
really are. I was actually talking to Tom Connors on Twitter about it. He was talking about, and I said, I don't think DC, I think DC put all their cards on the table for this one, and they backed it to the hilt. Hasn't worked. I don't think they'll recover from this. I think The Flash has probably, they don't know it yet, but The Flash has done critical. It was like for us in the Doctor Who fandom, where was the critical damage done? Everybody says the Fugitive Doctor and all of this. It wasn't.
No, season 11.
It was the very first episode in Series 11, right? And further on as well. And Charlotte is right. By the time we get to the last couple of episodes as well, of Series 11. Look, it was done. That was where the critical damage was done. And DC and James Gunn, you know, I can understand why James Gunn praised this movie, right? Because he needed to hype it up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's going to be doing his own thing, and he is there now at DC, so he couldn't slag it off even if he thought it was crap. But I do not believe for 1 second that Tom Cruise said that that was the best superhero movie he's ever seen. Well, I would say to Tom Cruise, if you're listening, Jonah, but if you were listening, Mr. Cruise, I would tell you to check out Zack Snyder's Justice League. No matter what people say is about Zack Snyder, and some people believe that DC is in the state that it's in because of him, that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that. I'm being honest with you. Man of Steel for me was the best movie that he made. Out of the rest, Batman versus Superman didn't really do it for me. You know, I have to be honest. I'm just being honest. It didn't. But it's done. It's game over. Just the only way to rescue this now is swallow your pride.
Yeah. Just say
and you bring back Henry. I'm sorry, but you got to swallow your pride now, James. He's got to swallow his pride at DC. And he's have to bring back
I think just in general.
Because just bring back Henry. And do you know what, James? I'll give you this, right? I haven't liked your last couple of movies, honestly, myself. But you have made some good movies, right? And I think you would actually make a great Superman movie with Henry. You don't need to do this legacy show. You could do a movie with Henry that both of you, because he's very passionate about it, James. You don't understand. The guy loves Superman. He understands the character. You've got a ready-made actor there for you. That is a great Superman.
Henry Cavill's a geek. We like him. That's why we like him.
And I'll back him up. I'm always Christopher Reeve. Always will be. He's number one. Yeah. But Henry is close. He's up there. Don't care what anybody says. Well, the movies he might have been in might have let him down and his character down. But him playing Superman, him being Superman, he was our Superman. Well, he was my Superman. And I accepted him as me Superman. And it's just such a shame. Go ahead, Charlotte,
it's just like to do the Witcher. It's like to do the Witcher stuff, and PD also saw this in the comments. Like when they dropped their fight, I don't know if it was the first official trailer because they did a teaser trailer, which was just people roasting them in the comments, as in the production team and the writers. But it's funny, you could see them when the actual trailer came out because everybody had got that out of their system. Just every comment was people basically pledging their love and how much they're going to miss Henry. Every single comment was just a wall of Henry, we love you, we're sad you're going. And this only just got showed more recently.
Yeah.
Netflix does like a they call it a fan event, but it's just a massive promotion thing on like a stream, like a show, where they get a lot of the actors and people of their programs to come, say a couple of lines, show a clip, and then the next thing gets a bit of promotion. And The Witcher's always been there. So Henry's been there what's odd is, obviously, he did the statement saying he's going, but that's it. We've not seen him talk about it since. We've not seen him, say anything since. He's kept very sort of away from all the drama and the anger. But he was obviously on stage for this fan event, and Joey, who's Yasuke, and Joey and Henry are really close mates. They've talked about this in interviews. Joey basically said, "This is our last season with Henry. We just all want to say thank you so much for all you've done, and we're going to miss you." And you could tell it was genuine. It wasn't just like them playing up, and you could see who was Yennefer in the show and Ciri. They were fighting tears, the two girls next to him. And then Henry responded, and he was literally 2 seconds away from crying. You could see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
They were just watering. He was just stopping himself from proper crying. And he just said, "I love you guys. It's been such he basically did a whole speech about how he adores the crew. he adores this set of actors and he's really going to miss them. And it just
Sure,
made
even
me...
Michael Shannon came out and said when he worked, when he worked on those movies and stuff, he felt the love from the cast and the crew, and that's including Henry. And then he said he worked on The Flash, and I felt no emotion or connection towards the character because he didn't have the people around him.
It's like a family.
Look, this is the dumbest. I'm not messing, right? People could say I'm overreacting, but I think this is a travesty, and I think this is one of the biggest mistakes in the movie industry. Do you know the way they say, you go through history and they've made some major mistakes? This is definitely one, in my opinion. He's a very bankable actor, but what makes him special and unique is the fact, as Charlotte said, he's got a good heart. He genuinely cares, and he's connected to geekdom. He's connected to the fandom because he is one of us, because he's exactly the same. He loves everything geeky. He loves everything that we love. And I just think it's such a shame. I wish James Gunn was listening, because I would say to him, look, there has to be a possibility somewhere down the line where you could bring Henry back as Superman. It cannot be not impossible. You got to
no, especially as there's going to be 2 Batmans running around.
Yeah.
I mean but see, that's the thing though as well, right? That's going to get very tiresome very quickly, to be quite honest with you. I like Batman as a character. There's a lot you can do with Batman. I'd say Batman is actually a simpler character to write for than Superman is, right? Superman's far more complex, right? You can write for Batman, and you can really put Batman in almost any setting, right? The thing is, you're gonna have these 2 Batmans running around now, but nobody asked for 2 Batmans. We don't want 2 Batmans, right? We don't want 2 Batmans. One Batman's good enough. Like one Superman's good enough. One Wonder Woman or whatever. If you want to do your new characters, that's all well and good. But you could have maintained some of the characters that fans actually liked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Gail Gadot, first the rumor was she's gone as Wonder Woman. A few hours later, then it's not. Oh, contrary to reports, she's staying on as Wonder Woman. Can I just say, I know people say they've picked woman, that actress, what's her name? Anna, she's got the weird second name. She's a beautiful actress. She'd fit the role as Wonder Woman as well. But the thing about it is that Gail is Wonder Woman. I'm sorry, Gal Gadot is Wonder Woman. She's Wonder Woman.
Weird.
I know 1984 was shit, right? But I like the first Wonder Woman movie, right? Yeah, there was some parts in it that were a bit annoying, but overall, I love that first movie, right? And again, if they get rid of her, I feel like she's getting shafted as well. I mean, what are they doing at DC?
Well, I find it really weird that they kept her cameo in Flash.
Yeah.
Why keep her in?
Exactly. If you're gonna keep her in, and then the reports come out that she's leaving, but then a few hours later, then they're rejecting that claim. Other media outlets are saying, no, that's not actually true. So we don't know. But you are right. If they've got rid of her and they kept her cameo in the Flash, and the Flash was supposed to be used as a tool to basically reboot the DC universe, then why is she still in the middle? You know what I mean? It just makes absolute. Oh man, James Gunn inherited the mess. I have to say, I admire Zack Snyder for what he tried to do. I do believe the Justice League and Man of Steel. I do have a soft spot for Man of Steel. It does have, but I do love Man of Steel, and I do love his version of the Justice League, even though it's on for nearly whatever it is, 4.5 hours. I don't care. It flies by when I watch it. It's a great movie to fucking watch at night time and just chill to. different chapters. You can even pause it, which if you want to take a little break.
Yeah.
That's what's good about it. Pause at every chapter. But overall, let's be honest. Zack Snyder is great at visuals, and he's got a great mind.
Yeah.
He's great at creating and building universes, right? But the problem is that he can't direct them or write the stories. He needs people to come in and help him
That's it.
write the stories. Christopher Nolan worked with him on Man of Steel. Now, I don't know how much influence Christopher Nolan had over the script, but you could definitely see that I had a Christopher Nolan kind of tone going through the movie, which, in my opinion, that's why I like Man of Steel. It's not the Zack Snyder factor. It's actually Christopher Nolan. This all harps back to me for the Dark Knight trilogy. See, that's the direction I believe they have continued in. But now it seems like they want to do more. They want to go more comic booky, which is grand if you're if you're into comic books, right? But you have a casual audience out there that aren't and would probably never see these characters. This is why I hated the Suicide Squad. Everybody gives James Gunn credit for that movie. I was the only one that criticized that movie, and I actually got stick for it. I got a lot of stick off a lot of people, right? But when I see a big bleeding starfish with little starfishes coming out of its armpits, and then every bloke in it, the father's a heroin addict, you got the other one's a loser, you know, all the blokes are everything that we've been given about, and then I see everybody's praising the movie, and I'm like, and then on top of that, you've got Peter Capaldi in it, right? A great actor. You get Peter Capaldi in it, and then he's just wasted. He's just wasted. So, I mean, I don't hold out any hope for James Gunn's universe, to be quite honest with you. I already think it's going to flop, you know? So, that's the mindset I have. But he can change my mind. But I highly doubt it after The Flash. I mean, guys, The Flash, it'll be lucky if it breaks even. I mean, that's a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, it's just been such a bad summer, hasn't it, so far? Like, The Flash, Pixar's latest movies, like, the projections, like, the box office that is predicted is, like, abysmal. Little Mermaid is just barely going to break even.
Has anybody seen that movie, though? Is it bad? Has anybody seen it?
I've not seen it because I watched one of the live action and I really didn't like it, so I didn't watch any other after that.
Right. We got someone in the chat that's actually seen The Flash. So
I've not seen The Flash, no.
So Gobby has seen The Flash. So welcome to the chat, Gobby.
Hi, Gobby.
Right, Gobby. Dear Lord, it's Pansy says. Well, I was gonna ask you without giving too much away. Do you know what? This is how you be able to tell us how bad it is, right? Let's think of the worst movie we can think of that was ever. Right, Mac and Me. Right, everybody hates Mac and Me except me because I get slagged over it because, you know, you all say it's a cheap ET knockoff, which is true, right? So Mac and Me, right, is absolutely crap, Gobby, right? So is it at the level of Mac and Me, or is it at the level of Cocoon 2? Wasn't as great as the first? It's worse than that.
Michael Keaton was good, which I very much suspected from the trailer.
Right, so Michael Keaton, it rocks. That's still not enough to bring me to watch the movie, Gobby, because of Ezra. I just...
Wait, he responds to your Mac and Me.
It's worse than that. Oh, for fuck's sake. I mean, we just can't get Aunt Nice anymore, can we, Gobby? I mean, and then people wonder why we're all on live streams giving out about it. I mean, we can't have Aunt Nice.
We can.
I just need you
in certain areas.
I just want to ask you a yes or no question, right? And that's how I want you to answer. But I've seen online that there's certain other cameos that take place in this movie. Are the cameos as bad as the images and the video footage that I have seen on Twitter before it's being taken down? Is it that bad?
Well, it was funny because the director let slip one of the cameos in order probably to get more people to watch it.
Of course it was. That was done deliberately. Listen, I wouldn't even be surprised if DC originally leaked those under weird accounts on Twitter, and then everybody shared it and then the original account gets taken down. The movie studios do that all the time. It's the same with this Spider-Man movie. All the leaks turned out to be right, but Sony were coming out and outright denying it every time, right? And they even got some of the leaked videos and then they edited them themselves to make it even look worse, so people
there
would
was
discredit.
to do with
Like,
that.
so, I mean, they were spot on all of those leaks, but he says, "Oh no way." So it's yes, and the cameos do suck. Oh man,
It gets better. Look at the next message, no? They can't do this deep fake, like bring people from the dead stuff.
Yeah.
They just haven't mastered it yet.
but I'm not going to say that just in case anybody's going to watch the movie. But it's the cameos in question. It's the cameos in question, and all I'm just going to say is DC and all you other studios out there. I know you want to shit on everything that we love, but could you actually stop now? I think he's have done enough. I think he's have done enough damage now. Okay, I mean, what you are trying desperately hard to taint my childhood. I loved my childhood. I loved the movies that I grew up with. I loved the TV shows that I grew up with. The music that I grew up with. You're trying to take that away from us by doing all of this crap. You're belittling those characters. And it's absolutely wrong. It's disgusting. They should be ashamed of themselves. I'm not going to tell you what the cameos are because this has made me angry, right?
It made a lot of people angry.
Oh yeah.
I was physically, right, when I saw it, I was like, I had to go off for about 30 minutes and I just made myself something to eat to calm down. And then I went on a big rant. And I went, F you, DC, F you, who authorized this? Oh, man, I was...
But it was so clear, because I've not seen it, but just off what I heard, and I won't go into detail, that they knew they knew they had a massive issue with Ezra because of obvious reasons. That's all I'll say. They knew there was a massive issue. They knew he wasn't really liked, from what I can tell, is Flash in the stuff before he was in. So they just packed this film with everything they could to almost like hide Ezra. It just felt like.
Yeah.
Let's put Michael Keaton in.
It is a goddamn shame, though, that because Ezra blew it, he has blown it. If he hadn't behaved, yeah, we all think he's a bit of a weirdo, but there's nothing wrong with being a weirdo if you're a great actor and you're not going around doing what he did. If he hadn't done any of that, you know, we'd be feeling sympathy for him right now and be saying, oh, Jace, they put him in a god-awful movie. Or they wouldn't have made it actually that way because he wouldn't have the background that he has. He wouldn't be problematic and we probably would have got a completely different movie altogether. But unfortunately, he is problematic and that hampered the movie. You are right. They put in characters that we loved when I grew up as a kid. Michael Keaton's my Batman as well, like. And he's right, fair enough. You didn't do anything bad to him. As far as I've seen by everybody is raving about him, right? So this is what I'd say to James Gunn. Michael Keaton is popular as ever as Batman. He's proved it, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, You get rid of Patterson. Yeah, he's not bad as Batman. But get rid of Patterson. Get rid of this other stupid Batman that you're thinking of doing, and you bring Michael Keaton back, and you do a Batman Beyond or whatever everybody's talking about, and you do an older Batman, and you make that movie. But he seems to be obsessed with young Superman. I bet you some of these other characters that he's going to be doing will be younger versions of the characters that we love and know. I just don't.
I'm not a comics person, but I think Batman is going to be older because I think he's going to do Batman and Robin, which would be interesting because we've never had a Robin in a proper movie.
That comment by Gabby is absolutely right. I mean, but that's the world we live in, and it's absolutely disgusting. It is because they look at. I'm not picking up for the Batgirl movie by any means or stretch of the imagination, but even Chris Persia, I think, said in the chat that that movie tested better with audiences than the Flash movie did. Yet they shelve and can the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I know people had issues with all the other stuff that was going on, but all I will say is Halle Berry also played, she played Catwoman, so it's not the first time they've done that to a character. Do you know what I mean? A main character. So, but people have their preferences, fair enough. But, if it tested better than the Flash, and you hedged all your bets on a man who's a criminal, let's not beat around the bush about it. Someone said it on the stream that he's a criminal, end of story. And you hedge all your bets on him, right? And then you get Tom Cruise to come out and say it's a great movie, and all these other people to come out and say it's a great movie. Then on top of it, as Charlotte says, just cram all of these member berries in, right? But then the elephant is still in the room. It doesn't matter how much you cram in. At the end of the day, I will say it straight. Ezra Miller should be in prison, not making movies. And how dare you think that you can sully our characters that we grew up with in that piece of shit movie. He choked a pregnant woman down to the ground. And I won't talk about the other stuff that he done because YouTube won't like me talking about it. But you hedged all your bets on this man, and he has failed. And this is why I don't think he will recover. And people will, and people are saying the same thing. Absolutely disgraceful. I don't care what side of the Batgirl argument you're on, but if that movie is only $80 million, whatever it was, and it was testing better, you throw it out there anyway, and you give it a go and see how it goes. Do you know what I mean? The least it will do is make its money back, right? But all the promotion for this, and remember, there would have been millions on promotion for this. They've made a big deal out of this. They've tried to really hype this movie.
Yeah.
And I'll be lucky if it breaks even. And you know who I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for all the people that worked on this movie.
Yeah.
The people that would have put the hard graft in to make this movie a success, but yet your lead has crippled you all because he's a scumbag. Hollywood has no morals. That man should never have been allowed. That movie should never have been released. They should have took the loss. I'm sorry, but it's harsh. They should have took the loss. Because if they have confidence in James Gunn and their up-and-coming projects, they'd earn it back in the next few years. Because if their movies were great and entertaining, you get the audience back again. But the audience will always remember that you made that decision to get rid of Ezra and he has had morals. Now everybody knows that if you're a scumbag in Hollywood, and listen, they've always done it. There's a few scumbags that have been allowed to make movies over the years, but this man only hasn't just done one thing; he's done several things.
And not only that, it was on video.
Yeah.
The whole world saw it.
And then you got that crazy chick line about Johnny Depp. I don't even want to mention her name because she's a vile human being as well. But again, she's going to be in Aquaman 2, right? So again, they've already shown, and fair enough, she's being shunned from Hollywood now. Right, that's grand. Fair enough.
About time.
But can I just say, she's still in the movie. Then when you release the trailer, these were idiots because she was narrating the trailer. You have no morals. You should have tried to get her out of that movie. And I heard you have tried your best. But Jesus Christ, you could have got Emily Clark in, like everybody was saying, and got her to film a couple of bloody scenes and put her in the movie. But no, again, you have made the wrong decision, and that's going to be another blow. Right? He's aren't going to recover. James Gunn is not rescuing this shit show. He's still Batman, says Gobby. Well, that's one thing that I'm glad that they did right, is that they haven't messed up. Look at Michael Keaton. I'm glad that he's on a bit of a comeback trail. And that's a bit weird to say that about Michael Keaton because with the career that he's had and the movies that he's been in, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened that we didn't see him much in movies, right? Because I haven't actually really checked why there's a bit of a break, but he's on a bit of a comeback trail, and this all started a good few years ago. But I tell you, the guy, right? I was going to say Anthony's in turns to gold. Obviously, he couldn't turn this to gold, but he's the best thing about it. But he's really, he's just gotten so much better. He was always a great actor in my opinion, but he's on a different level right now.
Yeah, PD, what would be like your favourite thing you said that you've seen Keaton in?
Oh, Keaton, original Batman has to be. Love him.
Yeah, is it Batman for you?
He was good in the whatchamacallit. What's the Tarantino film? Oh, I can't remember the name of it.
Oh. See, for me, it's a weird one. It's Beetlejuice. I think he just plays that character so well.
Actually, he was in one years ago where he was landlord.
Jackie Brown, sorry.
Jackie Brown's deadly, yeah.
Brilliant. I thought it was brilliant in that. And Batman. Not Batman Returns, but the first Batman, I thought it was brilliant.
I really like Batman Returns. Batman Returns.
Yeah, I've got a soft spot for it, but I just
remind me what happens in that one, because Batman's now I've watched so many, they all merge.
It's the one with Christopher Walken in it.
Yeah, it's the one with all the penguins and the penguins.
Oh, well, it's Walking Two-Face. No,
that's the third one. The second one with Christopher Walken and the penguins everywhere. Penguins.
Yeah, the second one wasn't too bad from my memory.
The zoo in it, and Catwoman.
Oh, I thought right. Now I know. Yeah, now I know which one. Yeah,
Michelle Pfeiffer is great in that movie. She played brilliant. She is Catwoman, man. She's the standard for movie Catwoman.
Christopher Walken in it.
And Christopher Walken, he's brilliant actually in it. And Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito was good as well.
Yeah.
And Gobby's back for Beetlejuice too. And Tim Burton with the Wednesday stuff has shown he's back to having his mojo a bit now, so it might actually be good. Beetlejuice too.
Billy D. Williams got shafted by the Batman as well because he was originally supposed to be Harvey Dent, and they changed him in the third one with Schumacher's. He got really shafted by that. He was really peed off.
Oh, was he meant to be Two-Face?
Yeah, he was supposed to be Two-Face in the Burton versions.
Oh,
but Schumacher, there was a big fight with Burton. It was handed over to Schumacher.
See, I remember not liking Tommy Lee as Two-Face. I thought it was too cartoony, which is saying a lot.
Yeah, I was supposed to be Billy D. Williams. That's why I didn't like the Schumacher stuff. I thought it was way too cartoony. I liked George Clooney as Bruce Wayne, but I didn't like him as Batman. He didn't have the voice of Batman. But as Bruce Wayne, he looked like Bruce Wayne.
He had the smoothness, didn't he, that you think of with Bruce Wayne and the
Yeah,
sort of
he had the
businessman.
look of Bruce Wayne from the animated series. That's why I thought, God, they got him perfect. He had that kind of suave and swaggering look of the Bruce Wayne from the animated series, but he just didn't have the voice for Batman. His voice was just a bit too high for Batman. It just didn't sound right.
I think because of Kevin Conroy now, every Batman voice has to sound good because you sort of compare naturally to Kevin, don't you?
Yeah, it's got to be. There's always Kevin Conroy was brilliant as Batman.
Huh? Are you taking the pee, Jamie?
Oh, sorry.
I know Cindy Beale is obviously from EastEnders. If anybody doesn't know, well, they've brought her back. Again.
Are they that desperate for views?
Yeah, there's going to be a story of her making up with Ian and Bill. That's what's coming up. God, it's so boring, that show.
But did she die? Because he said Cindy Beale is alive. Why did she die?
Yeah, she faked her own death or something. I don't know.
They're doing the fake my own death
nonsense
again. How many times have they done that? How many affairs and people have more? I mean, everybody on EastEnders has killed someone now.
Bingo! They got a bingo machine. It just we'll get the ball. Oh, someone fakes their death. Who? Cindy Beale. Oh, she comes back. Oh, it's just EastEnders bingo at the moment. I can't stand it.
Remember when they brought Dorothy Den back?
Exactly.
I remember watching the episode where he died because I could remember that because it was watched religiously in my house, and it was like he was dead. There was no like coming back from it. But then years later, he just come. And it was stupid.
Oh, then he got kicked out for dressing up as Captain
People
Hook.
just went with it, but yeah, I don't watch the soaps anymore.
They're crap.
Yes,
Catwoman. Yeah. There's a video of her though using the whip, and she actually really used that whip and doing that. She actually got it on one go. You should have seen when she knocked the heads off.
Wow.
She played seriously, man. Is Gina Davis back? I don't know. We will be talking. I will be obviously on Friday talking about stuff in Hollywood. I will actually be researching that to see. I do know that some of the cast are back. We were all wondering if Alec Baldwin would be invited back, but we'll have to see about that one. I think I don't want to make a joke on here, but let's just say they'll all want to be wearing bulletproof vests.
Oh yeah, so stand behind him.
Gabby has said no, she's not back. So there you go. Gina Davis is not back. Oh,
yeah.
Then that would make sense if they're not bringing back Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
You know?
I could just see them setting the scene back.
That's a bit sad, actually, because I like Gina Davis. She was in that movie. Have you ever seen it, The Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, yeah. She was good in that.
Great movie, man. She's a housewife, right? And she starts being able to do these things like assassin things and stuff, and she doesn't know what's going on, and then it turns out, I don't want to spoil it for you, but it just basically turns out she's more than what she is, and then she's got a family now, so you can see where this is going. If you have watched any action movies, you know exactly where, but she's brilliant in it. And Samuel L. Jackson is just so funny in this movie.
Well, she's just good in whatever
brilliant
she's
in it. What?
Like, she's just good in whatever she's in. Like, I like it, but it's got issues. That Stardust movie when she was like the villain. She was the witch.
Stardust. That's a fun
movie.
I
thought she was brilliant in that. Like
Robert
when
De
she
Niro.
was.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I like it. It's I really like that movie, but I know a lot of people don't.
Oh, I thought it's all right.
Even the soundtrack was from what's her face from the Titanic. She sang the song for it.
Oh no, it's Take That.
Dion.
And Take That did one.
Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet did a song for her.
Yeah, Take That was on it. Ricky Gervais, what I used to hate.
Take That did a song on it as well. Ricky Gervais was there. That was early.
Yeah.
Early for him, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, just breaking the movies, wasn't he?
But I think it's such a lovely camp sort of fairy tale.
It's a lovely movie though. It's very well It's very well designed. It's beautiful to look at. It's a beautiful movie. That's what I love about it. I think, you know, you can have beautiful movies and have crap stories, but the story in this, it's an interesting story. It keeps you going, and I like that movie. I'll defend that movie. Feck off.
I think no, I like it. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's
I
what
know.
I'm saying. I'm saying feck off to the people that don't like. Oh, no way, man. It's a good family. Listen, that's a movie to watch with your family.
Good old fashioned, but British family
Exactly.
entertainment.
Exactly.
yeah,
It
and
reminds
like-
me a bit like, you know, the never ending story. It's kind of
Yeah.
like that sort of genre. It's a family thing. It's nice.
And the
Yeah.
romance is actually real. Like you actually buy that they love each other by the end.
Mm.
One of the few times you watch a movie and you go, no, I get it. Like, and how because at the beginning they hate each other, and that's convincing as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's a star, he's an idiot. To put it bluntly, he's an absolute idiot. The male character, Tristan, and he's like tries to take her to go to this girl who doesn't care for him, but he just likes her because she's pretty. Like it's really lovely.
Yeah, Claire Danes is in it. Claire Danes is absolutely gorgeous in that movie.
Oh, Sharon died.
Have to say. Have I been watching the Titanic sub-drama on the news? I haven't did. Obviously, let's hope those 5 people are rescued.
Yeah, far wherever the hell they are.
Well, they've heard. Well, I covered it on Rumble with Real Super Doctor because, as you know, me and Real Super Doctor love Titanic, and we've done some movie watch-alongs, and we've actually done some streams on it. But we did one on Rumble today, and we were actually talking about everything. They've actually released some audio. There's been they've heard some. They think it's knocking. They've heard some knocking on the sub.
Hydrophones are picking up.
So what they're saying is basically there's a possibility that they're actually all still alive. They do have. Well, as it was stood about a few hours ago, there was 24 hours of oxygen left. So it's what now? It's nearly 9 o'clock now. So they're running out of time. But look, I've been listening to the experts. This is the deal. It will be a miracle.
Yeah.
So there has to be a miracle. And remember, right, there has been miracles before. You know, those kids in the cave that flooded, do you remember? The
ones who just got out of the jungle, you know,
miners,
the plane crash.
Miners. Look, miracles can happen.
Yep, they can.
And if they have at least heard banging, then all they just need to do now is acquire where that's come from.
Yeah,
and just once they locate them, then they can find exactly where they are. Let's hope it's not on top of the ship, because it is. I think they're going to have problems. But if it isn't, and it's landed somewhere near the wreck site, then there's a possibility, right? Now, if the pilot of the sub, there's this mechanism that you can pull, and it'll keep them floating in the water. But you just got to understand the water down in the depths that they are is like as if you were in outer space.
Opposite.
And on top of that, you've got all the mud and stuff
High
like
pressure.
that, and all the sediment coming up. So it's literally pitch dark. So this is like Mission Impossible. And there's a 19-year-old kid on this sub with his father.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a couple of millionaires, but because they're millionaires, apparently their lives doesn't matter on Twitter, you know. But it's 5 human beings. It doesn't matter who's at fault for this. The CEO is actually on the sub, and he's being criticized for the stuff, but there's time and a place for that. Right now, the goal is to rescue these people
at the moment,
and have that miracle. So, yeah, I would be, if you are interested in it, keep an eye on it, because if it doesn't end well, it'll be big news. Obviously, if it ends well, it'll be even bigger. Well, it'll be bigger. It'll be big news either way, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But a miracle needs to happen. And if a miracle happens, all well and good. And as me and Real Super Doctor said, Hollywood will probably end up doing a movie on this with Tom Hanks or something.
Yeah.
You know, because they always get him to do these sort of movies. So maybe Tom Hanks and, you know, but has to end well. So yeah. If you's are religious, say a prayer for them. Five men, but because they're white, apparently Twitter says they don't matter. And I
that's
disagree.
just they don't care. They don't.
And
care
I
if they
don't.
matter.
And I don't agree with that. Again, as I said, morals and
No morals,
values have gone in our society. There's
Totally.
still four grown men and a young lad whose life hasn't even begun.
And also, it would be an absolutely horrific way to go.
Yeah.
Well, no,
absolutely horrific.
They've
Asphyxiation
said,
is not bad, but the crushing
well,
is
actually, what they could do if they look, they've got two options. They do what they've been doing, so they've heard the knocking. So there's one guy in there. He's 71 years of age, but he's been down at the wreck. He was one of the original people that was on board the ship that discovered the wreck back in the 80s, right? The most important thing that they could do is remain calm, right? And he will instill that into them. But there's also a guy that was on the South Pole and has traveled all over the world as well. So they have two experienced people on board who know how to handle situations like this. But then you've got two men, and then you've got a 19-year-old, and it's a father and a son.
Yeah.
And they'll be the ones that will have to be calmed down, because that's the most important thing when you're down there, is to keep calm. Now, they've got two options. If they see that they're running out of oxygen, they've got a couple of options. They could breach the sub, they won't feel harm. Or, as Charlotte said, they run out of oxygen, and then the worst case scenario is obviously they will suffocate to death. So when people slag them off, you know, you should really take into consideration they're the conditions and the stresses that they're under right now. And a little compassion doesn't, you know, it's free anyway, doesn't cost you anything. So, you know, that's someone's husband. You know, there's someone's husband, grandfather.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely, uncle.
I know.
You know, come on. There's a time, but you know, we've seen it a lot. It's just society has just gone the wayside, and it's sad because if this happened in their time, it'd be completely different. We wouldn't be playing the blame game, right? We'd be out placards everywhere, you know, people supporting the family and friends of these people, you know, hoping for a positive outcome. And then comes all the investigation stuff. But nowadays it's different. Everybody wants to point fingers and blame all of that stuff.
Everyone but themselves,
right? And just wait. There's a time and place for all of that. We all know. We've seen evidence now.
There's going to be an inquiry. There'll be something because of just how high profile this is.
So they'll be either bringing them up alive, or they'll be bringing them up.
No longer with us.
Yeah. And that's the sad thing about it.
See you, Gobby.
See you, Gobby.
Yeah, the longest day of the year, Midsummer's Day. Yeah, actually, here's something for you, right? So the 21st of June, right? Someone high profile in your country that also has the same birthday as me. Who is he?
Oh, here we go. We're playing guessing game.
Churchill.
No, but I will say you're going down the right path, but not necessarily politics.
Oh, okay.
Not
He's
politics, but right path.
He's want the clue. Do you
Yeah.
want the clue? Okay. I've got to kind of make this clue a clue, but not make it too obvious. So let me see. This will probably give it away, but his mother was in a famous marriage.
Prince William's birthday day, is
I'm
it?
loving this. You are not even guessing it. Oh, brilliant.
No.
Brilliant. Anybody in the chat?
Yeah, any in the chat who's a lot
Anybody
more
in
better
the
than
chat?
us.
It's not
Okay,
Prince
let's see
William's
if I can
birthday,
give
is
you
it?
another clue. Let me see if I can give you another clue that won't give it away.
Is it somebody royal? People are saying, is it somebody royal?
Tardis time said, happy birthday, Noel. He says, is it a king? Oh, no.
Okay, so it's not royals.
It's
Okay.
not King Charles. But again, come on.
I love that. Chris even saying an easy clue. He's saying that.
Okay. Someone has got it right. And of course, it had to be him.
Oh, is it
Scottish
William?
Starburst and Friends wrestle with pop culture. Well done. Yeah, it's Prince William's birthday as well. I share my birthday with Prince William.
He doesn't listen to his Charlotte, does he?
I was say, I think you were saying a prince. I don't know if you caught which one you were saying.
Yeah. No one ever listens to me. It's too bloody late, isn't it? Yeah, I thought it was Prince William.
Did you say Prince William?
Yeah, about 3 times, mate.
Oh, for God's sake. Sorry, you didn't win, Daniel. Yeah.
Oh, Daniel can take the point. Take the point.
No, it's grand. Do you know why it is? You know why it is? It's because of me earphones. I can't see the black stuff is coming off the inside, and when I finished my last stream, Cheryl was like, "You do realize you've got a lot of black stuff all over your face and your ear, and it's an actual pain in there."
Yeah.
So I actually have it away from my ear a little bit. So I'm sorry. Technically, PD got a forced.
You can have the point.
But but the 24th. But well done, Daniel, as well. And Tardis time they're saying, "Oh, Prince William, nicely done, Daniel."
I love Chris's comment. The good prince, yes, the one who's not an idiot.
Well, that can be debatable whether he's the good prince or not. Now, in fairness,
he's the better prince
compared to his brother.
Compared to his that's one thing, because obviously you two guys are from the UK. So I want to ask you about what the Spotify CEO said about Kate and Meghan. He called them to I won't go into the actual language, but it was something along the lines bleep, 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 grifters. Bleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it because it just shows that the protection that they had once upon a time, that you couldn't say anything against them, has just gone now. People can say whatever they want.
Yeah, well, Bill Simmons, they got to go at him, such as an effing grifter, I
have to say, man.
That sums her up. That sums up Meghan
When I say it myself, I think what's finally happening here is that Cheryl said this, so I have to give Cheryl credit for this. But she thinks after the New York incident, where they basically made up the fact they were being chased by the paparazzi. Basically, the paparazzi that they actually got to follow them around.
Oh, you got sued for that, didn't
and they? To basically fake a whole, they were chased through to try and make out that she's some sort of Princess Diana. Listen, love, right, Meghan? Listen.
She's nothing. Like
You'll never be Princess Diana.
Never.
Right? Okay.
Never.
Now, Princess Diana had her flaws. Everybody knows what her flaws were, right? But it's not about her flaws, right? It's about what she did, right? And how she did it, right? And she did it with class. And she did it with dignity. And she actually sometimes did it with style. Right?
And also, she was a hard worker.
Yeah. She took risks. She actually took genuine risks, the whole minefield thing. And she was the first person, well, royalty. I don't know if she was the first person, but she shook an AIDS an AIDS patient's hand. That was a big deal, and hugged them. That was never seen before on television, right? You're no Princess Diana. You never will be, right? You're not even Lidl or Aldi version of her, right? Or Wish.com version. You'll never be that woman, okay? So stop with your little games, right? Take your ginger husband and go and get that privacy that you've been talking about for the last bleeding 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever how many years it's been now. We're all tired of it, right? It's time for you to find an island somewhere, go there, shield yourselves off away from the public because we don't want to see our faces anymore. Simple as that, right? And your husband actually went around with a bad German thing on him, so you can't, you're a bit of a hypocrite.
But it's just so funny because
happy.
Yeah, they all got married in May of 20.
Screw them. Yeah, well, their marriage is more solid than theirs is.
He missed.
Of course, he misses his daddy because when his daddy's on a roll, he misses his daddy.
He wanted to come in.
By the way, we decided to remember. I said it's Ted's birthday as well. So,
Oh, is it? Oh,
happy
birthday,
birthday, Teddy.
yeah. So because when I got him, I won't let's just say this. We couldn't find out what his age was. It was very confusing. So what we've done is he has his birthday on mine. Last year he stole all the Thunder tanks, didn't he?
Yeah, he also has the birthday that all the rescue pups have in August, and he gets 2 birthdays.
So he gets 2 birthdays a year. I just get the one.
He doesn't live as long.
I know, but still, if it's equal rights here, it's equal rights here, isn't it? Isn't it? You're with me, isn't it? Equal rights. If he gets 2 birthdays, I should get 2 birthdays.
No.
Right. Did you see what Kelly Osbourne said about them?
That's what I mean. It's open season now.
Man, listen. Look. People like those two. See, the reason why they're still in the limelight is because some people, like me wife, Pierce Morgan, in the media and other media outlets are obsessed with them. If we stop talking about those 2 twats, I'm doing it now, we're talking about them though, but if we did stop talking about them, we all made a genuine effort, right? Then we'd see how desperate they become then because they'd be waving their hands looking for attention.
Why every time Megan's being photographed, it's always by background. I'm telling you, I've called it. She's set up that little car thing in New York with backgrid. And here's what happened. She decided to be like, ooh, we were like, pursued and had it worded in a way that sounded all dramatic and stuff. And backgrid got like the sugar's coming for them, and they're like, which is why now if they see her all doom and gloom after she's not the Duchess of Dior, or after her Spotify dumped her, all these pictures of her all of a sudden became unflattering. That's the only time Backgrid's ever taken unflattering photos.
Disaster area. She's a Poundland Diana. She's not even a Poundland Diana, man. She's not even any sort of Diana.
Can I say this? Does nobody else find it creepy that she's trying to be Diana and she's married to Harry?
That's what I mean. She's trying to be Diana and married to Harry. You're right, Charlotte. It is creepy. It kind of is.
What I don't get is Harry's playing
and he's into that.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's a weird. I don't get that relationship, but I've never got that relationship. I know he's a prince and all of that, but I mean, okay, he looks better with age now, but I mean, there's nothing special about him, and she is a good-looking woman.
I can remember,
but she's a bit crazy, but
I can remember when the whole wedding was happening, and I was the one saying, "Nope, she's not going to be right, this one." And then people were like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You can tell." I could tell from early on. It was like,
"You're a racist."
I know. I could tell from early on. It was like, no, she's going to try and change everything to suit her. She's going to try and make it in her image. Everything. She's not going to fit at all. And it's been proved right. And even my mum was like, "Yeah, you said this from the beginning." I said, "I know I did because I knew, I could tell what she was like."
I think she went in with the expectation that she could change the royal family
Yeah.
from within. I don't think she kind of fully understood what she was getting married into. And for Harry to come out with a book called Spare and then talk bitch about him being,
Wow.
always been, I mean, you knew that ever sit with, like, we've all, okay, The Crown's a TV show, right? But we kind of get a glimpse of how these things work, right? You would have known very early on that within this family you were nothing special, and that was all about William, right? So to say that you didn't fully understand it and all this and the nonsense that you come out with, like, I don't get it, Harry. I actually don't get it from him. From her, I kind of get it because she's the American blundering in, not really understanding what she's getting into. I understand that. This is why royalty, they marry certain English families in England. You know what I mean? Because those kids grow up knowing that, one day you could meet a prince. You could be the wife of Prince Harry or Prince Will. You know what I mean? Like Kate's family. Do you know they got that Baroness thing going? They're friends with people within the royal family. They're a very close knit community, if that's the proper way of putting it. But
they're in the same
when they
circle.
start, but yeah. So when they marry outside that circle, like Harry did, right? This is why it's never been a race thing. The newspapers wanted to make it about race. Now, I'm not going to sit here and deny that there wasn't some elements of the UK that there wasn't a racial element to it. Of course there was. We're not fucking stupid. Of course we know there is. There's still a problem. It's not as big as people make it out to be, but there is a problem and it needs to be sorted out. But when the majority of people were giving out about her, it was nothing got to do with her skin colour. It was got to do with the fact that as soon as she got in there, she decided that, well, this is not working out for me, so I need to get Harry out of here now because I'm way over me head. And then she started coming out with all of this bullshit, right? And that's why people don't like her. And, no matter what people say about Piers Morgan, he called it a long time ago.
Yep, certainly did.
I do think it's a bit creepy that he's still banging on about her, but this gave him some new stuff to talk about. But he's right to talk about. He's right because everything that he said is coming true now. He said it. He called it from day one. And, and now we all know the true story. Yeah, he might have walked off, made himself look weak, but he was never going back on that program because apparently, Meghan was on the phone. You're giving out your woman. What's it? Don't get him to be talking about me. Do something about it. So we've heard it now. ITV is corrupt as BBC, right? So we know what she's like, and I think the Americans are finally seeing her for what she is now, and that mask has slipped now.
Well, she did the stupid thing, and probably Cheryl can talk to this more, but even I can. This is my feeling. She did the stupid move. All her other stuff she's done has been against Britain, has been against the royal family. It's been against nothing American. She actually attacked something American, which was New York. And then as soon as she did that, the Americans were like, oh, you don't start having a go at us now. You don't start giving us drama. You could do it about the Brits because that wasn't us. But because think about it, ever since that car, you're right, Cheryl's right. Ever since that car chase, you're seeing America wake up to her.
Yeah. Once bitten, twice shy, yeah. Fool me once, fool me twice.
She's a grifter. And apparently him as well. Apparently his ideas for podcasts as well. And oh man, apparently it was a. Do you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see some leaked footage of all.
Everybody's saying that now.
Yeah, come on.
Like we need to get this fella drunk. Who said if I get drunk enough, I've got a story.
Yeah.
You know what? I would love to take Harry out on a boys' night out, right? Get him drunk, sit him down, and then try get all the dirt and say, right, how have you ended up here? Come on, truthfully. Like, you had things going great. Right? Right, from the end, all right, from the outside it looked great. But I mean, you know, you had a pretty handy life, you know. How have you ended up here being shunned by your family? Come on, tell us the truth. Who's responsible? We all know who's responsible. Right? We can all say it. He
I
can't
think
because
now.
he's so blindly in love with her. And look, Cheryl did say one thing. There's one thing that Cheryl has said, that when she sees the way Meghan looks at Harry, she's genuinely in love with him. I just think she went in there to try to change things, and she knew that she thought she could and make a difference. And she learned very quickly that she had a place in the royal family, and that's your place, and know your place. And she didn't like that, because this woman is used to getting what she wants. And this was the first time probably that someone told her no.
Yeah. She's a narcissist. Born narcissist.
And the thing is, she actually would have been able to make a change in an actually impactful way. She would have kept with the royals.
Yeah.
She would have actually had the clout and the power that she's so desperately grasping for now with all this Spotify, Netflix. Which is was always going to be fragile, because if the stuff you're putting out nobody likes, all the deals go away, and that's what's happening. Whereas in the royals, that's a job for life if you can keep it. It would have actually she would have been gone on tour, she would have been charity, she would have been able to actually make.
And she still would have had the freedom to a certain extent to talk about some of the topics that meant something to her. Yes, there would have been limits. Speeches would have to be checked, because, you know, she is representing the royal family. But I think she wanted to go in there and be able to be free to say whatever you want. But when you're part of that family, because it is a family business after all, you know, that's what they call themselves, you know, you got to act and behave a certain way. And when you do interviews, everything has to be worded a particular way. And it's the same with speeches. We've seen it. It's, you know, but look, maybe hopefully now with all of this and it blows up in their faces, I think that whole he got her involved was, I think he kind of championed her to do that, to get people to like her, to be honest with you.
To be fair, that was an actual good thing Harry was involved with. That was an actual worthy thing.
Yeah, he should have carried that on, in fairness.
But the shame is,
if you wanted to bring Meghan in, fair enough, people might have complained about it, but you don't completely ignore it. Go on, Charlotte.
I was going to say, and I think that's a real shame now, because that whole Invictus thing was to help vets, to help people who were ex-army do something really empowering. And now, because he's such a despised figure, that whole Invictus thing, which should never be sort of like, how do I word this? Because of Harry's persona, it's going to affect that, which is actually really good and worthy, and that's such a shame.
Right, well, if we've nothing else to actually talk about, I think we've unless you guys want to give quick recommendations before we finish up tonight, because we usually
PD, do you want to do some first?
I can give you a recommendation for a game if you want. Play the new System Shock game. Yeah, play the new System Shock game. It's really bloody good compared to the old one.
Where can you get that?
Off Steam. I think it might be in the thing, PlayStation and the Xbox shop related shop as well. But yeah, I played it. I really enjoyed it. I can't play it at the moment because of bloody heat. It's too bloody hot because I'm throwing my computer. But I really enjoyed it. I played through the demo. I thought this is really good. Played through the main game. I thought this is even better. You know, it's really, really, really good remake by Looking Glass Studios, who are back from the dead, of System Shock 1, and they're currently working on a remake of System Shock 2 at the moment. And if you own the original version of System Shock on Steam, they'll upgrade it for you as well. Not to the new version. They'll upgrade it to a better version. They're constantly upgrading the original game as well to an enhanced edition. They've just done a brilliant job, and I thought it was well worth my money, you know what I mean? I paid full price.
Fantastic. I've actually got a recommendation based off only a trailer.
Yeah.
Right. They've decided to do another Ghostbusters game.
Ooh. I'll have to watch that now, you said.
The original was brilliant.
Now, right, well, let me just say that this game looks like what the original, but obviously update, but it's a continuation. I reckon this is going to be the segue into Ghostbusters Firehouse. Ray, all the original characters are back, and now you can play as a Ghostbuster, or you can play as a ghost.
Oh, cool.
So you can play either as a ghost, you can play as a Ghostbuster, right? Or you can make up your own character, Ghostbuster character. I saw the trailer on the PlayStation Store, and based off the trailer, listen, when I watched the original trailer, I loved it, and everybody told me the game is great. Based off this trailer is amazing, man. You should actually watch it if you have play wherever. It'll be on YouTube as well, I'm pretty sure. I'd play it here if I could get away with it, but I'm not going to get away with it because they're using the original voice actors. But yeah, there's another Ghostbusters game out, and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm not messing. It really actually looks amazing. And it's going to be I think it's going to be a segue into Firehouse, because
cool.
Ray's books is there, right?
Awesome.
And then, right, the occult books, whatever it's called, the shop, I keep getting it confused, right? And then just right beside it is the Firehouse. And they're training Ghostbusters.
Cool.
So
That was the point of the last game, wasn't it? They were trying to set up what do you call it, subsidies of the Ghostbusters, of branches.
Yeah. So you have to check it out. See what you think is yourselves anyway, and let me know on Friday when I do contact. If you have seen the trailer, and actually let me know what you thought of it. But I think it's an amazing trailer. So that's what I'm going to record, just based off the trailer, right? I might, we'll see. I could be wrong, but I doubt I've seen some of the gameplay as well, and it looks pretty impressive to me. And it looks like it has a lot of the elements from the first Ghostbusters game. So, well, obviously it's updated with the graphics and stuff like that, and looks a lot cleaner, if you know what I mean, and stuff. So yeah, Noel Productions for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 begins in August. At Noel Productions. Well, at Noel production for, I can't wait for that movie. Got to be honest. But Queen Charlotte, you got any recommendations?
Yeah,
for
mine's a game actually, because it's summer, so there's lots of sales on, and the eShop, which is like Nintendo store, because of my Switch, I got on sale because I heard lots of good things, but I never got around to playing it. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and it's a big Japanese RPG game. But I've never played the others, but I heard you can play this one without playing the others. And I heard so many people rave when it came out. I think it was last year it came out, but it was on sale, so I was like, "Oh, I'll pick it up." And I've been really impressed with the story so far, with the characters. I think that's what JRPGs do really well, when they have a party in a story and you get to know the party. And it's the general idea is you've got two warring factions, that sort of something happens, I won't say what, and then they have to work together. And then they slowly start to learn about each other, and the sort of, and like I said, I've been playing it for about a week, but I've really been enjoying the story and the characters. And the world, it's a bit of an open world, but it's a nice open world, that it's not just a load of random stuff dotted everywhere. There's actual like set stuff that you can do that's questy, or like side stuff, and then you have the main story. And also Monolith Soft, I think I've said the developer right.
Monolith, yeah.
They can do such good things with the Switch system. They can make it look lovely, and you've got this expansive world, and even the fighting system, which I've never it's a new system I'm learning, and I'm slowly learning it. But even the system's fun, the fighting system. It's sort of this weird hybrid, which I'm enjoying so far.
Here, is this true that, because obviously I'm PlayStation, so I have to get the PS Plus. And obviously we get the monthly free games, but they're always bleeding. And now they've got this new system where, you know, you can pay an extra 25 quid, and then you have all of this access to all of the free games and old games and stuff like this. So in order for me to get that, I have to, so it's what, 60 quid a year for PS Plus. And then on top of that, then you want an extra 25 quid, right, to pay for games that I already thought that I was going to get access to because I paid the 60 quid in the first place. But I heard PlayStation is the most expensive one. But I've heard Switch and Xbox are very cheap. Their stores as well, and the access to games is a better, yeah?
The store, I can't talk for Xbox, but the eShop, there's always deals on, if you look, basically. And like they
Can you
rotate.
still play the classic? Because I want to ask you, because I'm really thinking about a Switch eventually. Have you got all the Mario games on it? Can you get the original Mario games? Can you play?
I think you need the Switch Online, which is like a subscription. I don't know how expensive it is because I've not really looked into it.
Does anybody in the chat
say maybe wait, because the Switch is pretty much near the end of its life cycle now. So there's people are thinking they might bring out a new system in the next couple of years. It might be like a Switch 2 is the rumor that's going around.
Switch 2, Jesus, that's original.
Yeah.
Well, no, but it's done such well for them as a system, and it is brilliant. Like I got mine 2 years ago, and I adore it. It's so easy to pick up and to use, and the games, some of the first party stuff is brilliant with Nintendo. You get some really good first party, like Xenoblade is first party. There's some other stuff which is just really good.
Yeah, I might have to.
I saw there was a direct. I haven't watched it, Tardis. Literally was on when I came in from work, so I need to see if there's any big announcements for it.
Expansion pack online is $49.99 for a year. That's even cheaper than what I'm paying. So yeah. Well, no, it'd actually be roughly the same price, but you get a lot more access than what I would get on PlayStation. I have to say, these gaming companies, right? Think about it this way. I just want to wrap up with this, but this is a valid point to make. Number one, they put out games that are never complete, buggy, and then we have to update them every couple of weeks or so because they have to fix all the bugs. So they put out a product that's already crap, right? In terms of, you know, it's always glitchy and buggy. Then they expect you then, in order to play those games online, basically to play with your friends and stuff like that, you've got to pay an annual fee. So you pay that, right? Now they're telling me, oh no, that's not good enough now. If you want access to all of these other games that you can play with your friend, you've got to give us an extra 25 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting ridiculous.
Right? They're greedy. Ridiculous. There should be one. There should be all across. Listen, this is what's wrong. These need to be regulated, right? But it's very hard to regulate these things. But there needs to be one price across the board, right? That's affordable to everybody. One price across the board. That's it. And if it's a yearly price, that's fine. Fair enough, do a yearly, but no extra costs, right? That one price gives you access to everything. Nobody has better than anybody else. It's another thing in the gaming industry, which I'm seeing as well. Clearly there's a gap there between people that, you know, there's only some people can only afford the subscription for a year, you know, that sort of way, and that'd be their whole budget maybe for the year. And then their friends then maybe will have a little bit extra bit more money, and their parents are able to afford to get, and then they're not able to play with their friend. I think that's wrong, man. It's been
the good thing is about the Nintendo stuff is it's mainly just their old school games that are part of this online. Pretty much all of their current games you can buy and play or get on the eShop. So
well, Tardis time is kind of is convincing me there, because I just want it for Mario Kart.
Oh, no, to be fair, there's a lot of, so if you've just got Mario, then maybe then look for a Switch, because there's loads of Mario games out now.
Yeah,
that you could look at.
and I'd be a fan of that. But look, we're gone 2 hours and 10 minutes. We were I was only going to do an hour, but you know what?
No, we had to catch up.
But when we haven't caught up in a
Yeah.
long time, that's what happens. And we're going to go off and watch me movie now and have ice cream. Because Cheryl, after God love her, I done the Rumble stream and I've done this stream, so we haven't actually spent any time together. So I'm going to put on a movie and watch it with her while I have me munchies. So what we'll do is we'll do channel shout outs and stuff and what we've got coming up. So we'll start with Queen Charlotte first. So Queen Charlotte, let everybody know what you are doing in the next couple of days.
Yep. So tomorrow, Thursday. It's sort of a big stream for us on Type 40. It's our 100th Type 40 live. So we're having a bit of a celebration. It's going to be very wacky. Dan's also kept everything secret from us, so we don't have a clue what's going to happen, but he said there's surprises and lots of fun stuff. So if you want to watch us tomorrow night, I'll probably laugh a lot and probably be embarrassed a bit and have a good time. That's what we're doing. And you'll catch me here on Wednesdays.
Fantastic. PD?
What's Daniel up to? No one said what Daniel's up to.
Daniel at the moment is doing, he was in the chat before, if you still are, Daniel.
He's doing his football stream.
He's doing his
okay,
gaming
He wants to
No one
wants to
mentioned what
concentrate
Daniel's doing.
and he's right. He needs to he's taking a break from all the other stuff and he just wants to do something
fine.
that he's enjoying
No, I just
right
wanted-
now.
I just
But he's a
wanted
bit
to say
heartbroken because he got to the playoffs and God love him, he got beaten by a penalty. And I can tell you, I know, like Cheryl even says it to me, is take these games way too serious, right? But you don't understand. You put in all that effort and you play all of those games and you get beaten like that. Trust me, it's hard to take. So he didn't win the playoff final, and he didn't get into the Premier League. So it knocked the stuffing out of him a little bit.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So he'll be back again though because he says he's ready to go now. So
he's got stuff planned. He's talked about wrestling stuff with me. There's other stuff he's planning, but at the moment,
he's got
he's
loads.
chilling out. He's having a bit of a chill time with his
That's
games.
good. No, don't blame him. I'm having a bit
He's
chill
just
time
having a bit chill. He's even been talking to me about his podcast and all. So he has other stuff planned. Don't worry about it.
No, that's
just
good.
for now. Look,
fine.
we all go through that phase. Remember the gaming phase as well.
Yeah.
It happens. Trust me. It's a way to detox from all of the crap that you get when you do what we do. So yeah. You should go in, guys, even, because I go in myself. I'm not there all the time, I have to admit, but I'll have them on the background. I'm not always in the chat, got to be honest, because I do be doing other things. But while I'm doing other things, I'm actually, I have it on. And if I'm in the kitchen cooking, I'll bring it in with me and I'll watch while I'm chopping and prepping and stuff like that. But go in and if you ever see him on live, just go in and say hello to him, even if you just don't stick around. That helps with his algorithm as well.
Yeah.
In his chat. Just go in and say hello to him and wish him the best and stuff like that, because, it's small little things like that really help streamers, trust me. But PD.
Yes, as I said, I was going to say, also Daniel's channel, just making sure he's all right. That's why that's the question. Gobby's been hitting out the park, even with Jack Main at the moment. So go over and check Gobby's channel out. There's some brilliant stuff going on, especially about Russell T Davis. We're not going to go too much into that here. So go check that out. And Rabbi's back from he got ill, but he's recovering, so he's fine. And he's streaming, but he's not streaming as much as he used to, so it's very random his streaming now. So keep an eye out for him. He's still around, but he's just taking it easy, getting better.
Fantastic. And get well soon, Rabbi.
Get well soon, Svi.
Yeah, I love Gobby stuff, says XS. Yeah, he's been knocking out. I agree. I even said this from the other day.
Yeah, knocking out the park.
When I was streaming, he's been knocking out the park lately. Look, we go through a purple patch. I went through a purple patch a few times. It happens.
Yeah.
And it's great when you're on a roll. And, his subscribers. Remember, this guy started from scratch again.
Yeah.
He's done very well to get where he is right now. And as I said, it's because of the stuff that he's putting out, and he deserves it. So go and check him out as well. Check out everybody that we associate with. They're good people. They all have their points of view. We don't always agree on stuff either. That's what makes us unique, because we do all have our different opinions on certain topics. You know, some of us are more, you know, like myself, I'm a bit more feisty when I give my opinion, but others are more reserved and relaxed and get their point across. But that's the way I've always been. Not going to change. Anyway, I'll be back. What day is it today? Because I've lost all track of reality. It's Wednesday, isn't it? Right. So Thursday I don't stream. Friday I have 2 streams, obviously, because I've got the membership stream. That's the preview of what we're going to be, and because we got 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about, I will have plenty to talk about on that member stream. So if you're a member, we'll be back on Friday, and then Friday night with the lads themselves, PD and I'm forgetting the other fella, but he's an English fella.
Lee, you know, he's not going to be happy.
He's a bit of a problem. You know, he's a bit of a problem. Now? He's called Problem. What are you messing? He's ruined the man. I was on him. Problem being, sorry, it was ruined.
No. It's just every time I hear Probby's name, it's like, oh, what's he done?
Yeah.
Now? Who's
myself, Problem being, and PD will be dissecting everything, and we will be talking about all of the nonsense with the Flash as well. So be warned, because if the photographs are still up on Twitter, they'll be going up on screen on Friday. So if you don't want any spoilers, well, I'll put it up on the banner that goes across the screen the night of the stream. So if you just come in, there may be a few little spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, because some people leaked some crap online. So if you don't want to see that, because you genuinely want to see the movie, then I would suggest we'll probably get it done pretty early. Will probably be the first topic that we actually talk about. But yeah, if you want to avoid it, just be careful, because it's going to be it's going to be an interesting one. Let's just say 2 weeks of stuff to get up. Oh, there's lots of nonsense. You're going to love it. Anyway, we will see you soon. So enjoy the rest of our week and the good weather. And remember, you know, we get a bit of rain, a bit of lightning, you know, we see these funnels, you know, appearing in the sky, you know.
Yeah.
It's happened before, but remember one thing as well. I want to leave with this, that the governments of the world have been manipulating the weather for decades, right? Yeah. So if the weather is being a little bit extra extreme and we're getting a little bit extra rain, right, it's because of those idiots. Nothing got to do with us, right? So don't buy into the scaremongering. Enjoy your summer, get your tans and whatever you are doing, and enjoy it. Yeah, don't let these people ruin it. I mean, the Sun newspaper put up a video of the chalk ice. Right, you know, one of those ice creams with chocolate on it, and they had someone hold it, and apparently it melted in 25 minutes.
Wow.
25 minutes, right? But you know, they sped up the video, right, to make it look a lot worse than what I want. But when I seen it, I was like, it's 25 minutes long, so you speeded it up because it was 25 minutes long. Yeah, that's probably about normal for an ice cream to melt in the sun if you don't eat it. You know what I mean? So, what's the point? What was the point you were trying to make about the ice cream melts in the sun? We know that, you fucking idiots. That's why you eat it fast. And that's why we all get head fecking
brain freeze,
ice burns, ice whatever they call them, right? Ice freeze, brain freeze. That's the what ice brain freeze. Right, that's how we get brain freeze, right? Because we eat it fast. Leave it out with the fearmongering, right? Let people enjoy their bleeding summer, right? And anyway, if we're at a critical point and the climate is changing, then we're screwed anyway. So, no point in getting pissed off about it and getting all worried about it. Yeah, we're not going to be around, right? And you talk about our kids and all of that. None of us are going to be around. We'll be all dead, so who gives a shit? Right? Just enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to go off now and watch maybe, I don't know, I'll say maybe a romantic movie or something. Just, I don't know. Or maybe an action movie. Oh, she hasn't watched the third part of Back to the Future yet. That's what we might do. Anyway, I'm going to go. So I want to thank me guests as usual. The one and only Queen Charlotte. PD Rich.
Not bother, my friend, not bother.
DEI stand for man. Okay.
I'll tell you about that after the stream.
Right. And we've got another happy birthday. Thank you. It always rains in Dublin. Of course it does, but apparently now it's biblical times because we had a couple of floods because they don't clean the drainage system. But because a few places flooded, it's the end of the world. It's actually pathetic. We need to stop. Enjoy the summer, right? And we're going to get loads more snow now. And we'll have more of a chance of having white Christmases, like they did, when the last time the climate changed. So there's things to look forward to. White Christmas. Who's not going to love that? Come on. These idiots. Anyway, here's the trailer. Go on now. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.